Hey everybody, today I'm going to be reviewing the Astro Pneumatic 9409 hose clamp pliers. These pliers are a cable driven set of pliers, so you would ratchet this handle shut and it'll click. And then there's a cable inside of this black sheathing that works a little mechanism on the end that will close. And as it gets closed, it will ratchet shut, so you don't have to hold anything to keep it shut. Back here is the release, so you hit the release and then the cable releases and then now your end's back open. Where you would use this would be on radiator hoses, upper or lower, where there are very tight spaces in engines, anywhere where there's a spring tension clamp, heater hoses up against the firewall, power steering return lines, or even transmission return lines where the automatic transmission will send the transmission fluid through the bottom of your radiator and then back into the transmission. A lot of times you only have an inch or two to work with, and that's usually behind a frame rail. So trying to get a pair of pliers in there, even angled needle nose pliers, is pretty much impossible. You'll spend a lot of time and bust your knuckles underneath an engine trying to get it released, where you can easily stick this cable right up behind the frame rail, ratchet it shut, and then pull the hose clamp right off. So hang tight, I'm going to show you how simple this is to use and how easy it is to just maneuver around an engine. When you see the difference between this Astro Pneumatic and an older pair that I have, not the Astro brand, but an OTC brand. The OTC has a smaller diameter cable, so that last click where it wants to shut all the way, it never seems to want to click shut. And I'm fighting it. I'm having to hold on to this in order to remove the hose clamp, where the Astro Pneumatic, because it has a thicker cable, actually will hold tight and the cable's not stretching inside of this sheathing. Okay, what I'm going to show you now are the Astro Pneumatic pliers versus the OTC Stinger variety that I already have. The main differences with these are going to be your cable and the sheathing. The actual plier part itself, the ratcheting plier part, is completely identical except for the color of the plastic coating on the handles. The actual mechanism itself, even down to the stamping of the patent numbers on them, are completely the same. The Astro Pneumatic, however, has an upgraded design with the cable and sheathing. The cable's actually longer. With the OTC version, the little clamp on the end of the cable is right here at the base of the plier head, where the OTC or the Astro version has a adjustable cable. So if this cable ends up stretching, you can actually tighten it up to make it work correctly again. The OTC version would have a 5mm sheathing with a 1.5mm steel cable inside of it. And the Astro Pneumatic upgraded design has a 6mm sheathing with a 5/64 or a 2mm cable inside of it. The sheathing on the Astro is 20% thicker, and the cable inside of the sheathing is actually 33% thicker than the OTC version. So the ratcheting mechanisms in the handle are completely the same. However, the cable and the sheathing on the Astro is a far superior design. Okay, the hose clamp that I'm going to show you is actually one of the lower radiator hose clamps down here. It's on the front of the engine, and it's at an awkward angle, so it would be hard to get a pair of needle nose pliers in there to get this thing clamped and then moved off the end of that hose. But the Astro Pneumatic hose clamp pliers, you just take the little flexible end, you place the one notch directly on the bottom of the hose clamp, and you take the hose clamp ratcheting part and just squeeze it, and it's going to ratchet that open. So there's one click, and there's two clicks. Now my hands are completely free. I'm going to zoom back out so you can watch me move this. And my hands are free. The hose clamp is free because the ratcheting mechanism is holding the tension on it. So I can then take this, move it down the line, and then work on getting that hose itself off of the connector. But when you replace the hose, it's the same exact method. You place it back where you want it, And then all you need to do is just release the tension off of the 9409 pliers, and it will release the tension and they pop right off. So in real tight situations like this, these are a tremendous lifesaver and will save you a lot of time. So to sum this up, I really like the Astro Pneumatic 9409A hose clamp pliers. Like I previously said in my video, I had the OTC Stinger variety, and when you look at the two online, they're going to look identical. And the actual ratcheting part of them is identical. It's the cable and the extra adjuster on the end and the sheathing on the Astro that makes it stand apart. It will work better, you can click it a lot tighter and you don't have to worry about that cable stretching. And if it does stretch, you can adjust it so it's still usable. Where the OTC variety does not have any sort of adjustment at all, and once that cable starts to stretch, you're stuck buying a whole new cable. Astro Pneumatic was actually nice enough to send me these so I could do this review for you. And I'll put a link below where you can purchase them. If you like my video, please click like. And if you like my channel, please click subscribe. Thanks for watching.